Howdy guys, my name is Sam.
And my name is Ethan.
Today we're going to be showing you guys how to get started on your Pinwheel journey. We're going to show you how to set up the Pinwheel phone, how to get started on your Caregiver Portal, and we're excited to have you with us.
So let's just dive right in. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to want to go open up caregiver.pinwheel.com and you're going to want to sign up for a new account. So we're going to do that really quick. We're going to hit sign up here. We're going to fill out whatever username we want it to be. So for example, I'm just going to put my first and last name. And then we will fill this out really quick. I hope this email is not taken. It may be. I've used this email for a ton of things. And you'll just want to fill out all of the information here. So your username, your first name, your last name, your email, your phone number. The phone number is important because it's going to be your kid's first contact they put on the phone. For the password here, you want to put whatever you'll remember. I'm just going to put Pinwheel123.
Boom.
And once you've done all of this, it'll look like this. You can log in with either your username or your email, and you just hit sign up, and it'll take you right to the caregiver screen.
And also, guys, remember, you can get to the Caregiver Portal by clicking login on the top of the Pinwheel website. You don't have to go to caregiver.pinwheel.com. You can simply just go to pinwheel.com. There's a little login in the top corner. You click that, and you'll be able to go. So right now, what we're going to be doing is setting up the child's device. You'll see that my friend Ethan just made an account for the Caregiver Portal, and it brings you right to another prompt to create an account. And that is the account that you will log in and use with the phone. So this is the account for the kid. The way that this works is you can see he just set the username as Ethan Child, and the password is
Pinwheel123.
Pinwheel123. So I go on my phone, a login screen comes up when you turn the phone on. I type in Ethan Child, and then I log in. And just like that, we're logged into the phone.
Phone turned off, but all right.
The second thing that you need to do when setting up your phone is you need to punch out the SIM card tray and put in your own SIM card. You can also put in your own micro USB.
There are videos of how to do that on if you ask the support team or through the support page.
Let's get back to the Caregiver Portal.
Yeah, so right over here. So the first thing you're going to see is it's going to say, welcome to Pinwheel. We don't have a SIM card in yet, so there's not going to be the location, battery, and Wi-Fi and all that good information. But once you get a SIM card on the phone, it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you will have live status. So I'm just going to quickly walk through everything we see on the Caregiver Portal here, and then we'll pass it off to Sam. We'll start with contacts, and we'll start setting up a day-end mode. So the first thing you're going to see here is you're going to see your name and then a bunch of tabs that we don't understand. So up at the top right here, this is where you can do feature requests and also see release notes. And then also through here, you can go to your account, and this will be where you change any of the passwords for your username or your kid's username.
And what's very useful up in this page is you can see the username of the kid account that you have currently selected.
Yeah.
So if you ever forget the kid's username, you can click the settings in the top right, and you can see the kid's username immediately, nice and simply.
Yep. And then so on this left here, we're going to have these tabs and just really quick information. Live status is where you see the location of the phone. Days and modes is the tab where you would set up the days and modes, which we'll explain later once we get more into it. Routines are checklists that appear on the phone. Usually these are for younger kids. Apps is where you go to the app boutique, and this is where you actually enable all of the different apps. Phone history, if we go to the phone history, because we just set up, you're actually not going to see, oh, they changed it, so you can see image texting now. You'll have your text history, your call history on the phone, and you can enable or turn off image texting if you want your kid to be able to send pictures. And then right down here, which is where we're going to start, is the contacts. And this is where you add new contacts and you show rejected contacts. So I'm going to pass it off to Sam here.
Awesome. So looking into this contact section, you can see that there's one approved contact on our safe list, and that is the contact that Ethan set up when he was setting up his parent Caregiver Portal account. When you set up yourself as a parent, that number will automatically be added into the child's phone. And from here, you can add all the new contacts you want to add. So if I want to go in here and I want to add mom, dad, grandma, simply, I can turn on an emergency contact, which means that contact can be contacted most of the time unless you specifically disable it. You can see it right here, and I click save contact, and it jumps right in. We'll also have a section that shows rejected contacts. So if you said, you know what, I don't want this person to be texting my kid for this reason. You can throw it in here. It'll show up in the rejected contacts, and you can unreject it at any time if you want. And even I can come in here and reject the contact even after I've approved it.
You can also have your kid through their Pinwheel phone actually make a request on the contacts app. So if they meet a new kid at school and they want to be friends with them, they want to be texting them, they can request the contact. It'll appear right here at the top of the page, and it will have their reason, all the information, and you can be the judge of if they add a contact or not.
Another important thing to note is that if a contact is not in the safe list, that contact is automatically blocked. So just by the way, the phone that you see in front of you set up with these two contacts can only text these two numbers. Every other number that exists is currently blocked. Let's move into phone history. Ethan.
So phone history, I kind of did a tertiary run over. It's pretty simple. Text history and call history. Once you have text history, you'll actually see right here all of the texts, and be able to read all of the live conversations. Even if the texts are deleted, you'll be able to see it with all approved contacts. There will also be another tab that says, I think, needs approval or needs review. These are all messages from outside sources. So usually if you have things like T-Mobile pins, or, you know, Life 360 has these as well. All of those pins will go to that needs approved. So you don't have to actually approve those contacts to your kid's phone, but you'll instead be able to get the codes and put them in yourself. And then call history will, as you would imagine, it would show the call history of all of the ingoing and outgoing calls. And then, as I explained before, this is image texting. So if you turn on image texting, you'll see a plus sign on all the messenger app on the actual phone. And through here, you can actually send pictures, send and receive pictures to your kid. Not videos, but just pictures.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to jump right over here to apps, and Sam, we can explain apps.
Cool. So what you guys need to know is that the Caregiver Portal runs as the brain of the phone. All actions that take place on the phone have to be set up and approved by the Caregiver Portal. And that includes apps, which means that our phones have no app store. You don't have an app store as a parent, and the kids don't have an app store on their phone. We have this thing called the Pinwheel app boutique that allows you to approve apps on the phone that are also pre-approved by us and by our therapist guidelines, which means our apps have no ads, no access to internet, and they're not social media based. So we can just go in here and take an example of a few apps. Let's just look at Life 360, a very common app that lots of parents want on the phone. If I want this app on the phone, I click enable by toggling this little button. It changes colors and goes to the side. This app is now on my Pinwheel phone. If my Pinwheel phone is connected to Wi-Fi or is on data, it will download the app onto the phone, and the app is good to go. And it's like that with every other app. We wanted to give our kids on Pinwheel the ability to listen to music if the parent wants them to, but we also note that some music can be inappropriate. So we wrote in this description, parental advisory, and we write right here, explicit adult content. So we want you guys to know as Pinwheel parents that some apps do have quote unquote bad content. And when those apps do, we are going to notify you. So there are a few apps on our Pinwheel device that may have inappropriate content, but we're going to let you guys know if that's the case.
And yeah, and if you also as well, if you're on this app boutique and you notice that there's an app on here that you don't have, or that you do want and is not actually approved yet, you can hit this request an app button. It'll take you to this screen, and then you'll be able to, from here, put in the app name, the details of why we should add it, and it will go on our list of apps to be added and to be looked over. And we will set those to our therapist guidelines, and we will get that out to you.
Awesome.
And now I'm going to jump over to routines. I'm going to explain routines really quick. So routines are basically on the phone. You would see a checklist. So essentially, if you have, the most common one is nighttime checklist, right? Where you have go to bed, and it would say, brush your teeth, put on your pajamas, all that other good stuff. And your kid could check that off. And if I click on one of these, you'll actually be able to see that there's like one right here, ready for life. And these are what's on the checklist, right? So be extra nice to someone today, say thank you when someone is nice to you, all that good stuff. And you can even add a task down here. So we can just add anything. I'm just going to put some numbers for sake, and then you just hit enter, and then boom. And once you add those will go on the kid's phone to be checked off. You can even add your own routines if you don't want to use ours, which is essentially the same thing. You just name it anything. And once it's done, pop right here, same exact thing. You click to add a task and then you hit enter and then you're all good. And these will appear on the phone or any mode that you assign them to.
So what's cool about routines is you can basically, instead of constantly as a parent writing down stuff for your kid to do, you can just put a checklist immediately onto the home screen of their phone. Super simple, super awesome, and it's really handy.
Yeah, and now Sam, let's dive into days and modes. This is the most complex tab. Really quick, I'll just run over what you see here on live status and then we'll jump into it. Live status, you'll have a big old map right here. It'll show you where your kid is, update every 2 to 5 minutes. And then you have over here on the right side, it'll have your battery information if the phone's close to dead, the storage and the Wi-Fi it's connected to. And yeah,
as well as the IMEI number that you will need if you're talking to Pinwheel customer support, which is that fancy little button in the bottom right. They will ask for your IMEI number or your Pinwheel ID, and you just give them that number, and that's how they'll be able to locate your phone and help you specifically with your problem. Let's move into days and modes. I'm going to go over a little bit what we see on the left side of the screen, and Ethan, you can go over what we see on the right. But first, let's see what's on the top. We can see that there is a calendar for the days, and this is how you can set specifically what the phone does on specific days. So let's just look at today, Wednesday. If I want to change the day to a weekend day, which I'll explain what that is in a minute, I can select apply for every Wednesday or apply just for June 9th, 2021. So what's cool about this is if a certain day, let's say is your kid's birthday, and it happens to be on a school day and you want them to have less restrictions on their birthday, but you don't want to change every single Wednesday, you can do that. You can say, you know what, for this day specifically, I want my kid to be able to do X, and every other day you can have repeating. We can also jump anytime in the future to change days like that. Let's check out what a preset day is, which I just saw. You guys saw me select weekend day. Let's see what a weekend day is. This would mean that the phone from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. is in everything mode. And from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., it's in bedtime mode. And then at 9 p.m., the phone bricks and can only text emergency contacts, which is nothing mode. If I want to create a day, because I don't think this day follows my kid's schedule perfectly, I can click new day. I can name the new day. I'm going to name it Happy Day. I can create the day. And then in here, I can specifically change. I need to select Happy Day. In here, I can specifically select what I want my day to look like. So I want my kid to be in get ready mode from 6 to 7. I save that, right? And then I can also select every other mode that the kid will have at that time. So it's just a super, super specific way that you can set up exactly how the phone works from hour to hour. Now, you might be saying, what is get ready mode? Ethan, explain to them what the modes in the days are and how to set them up.
So modes are essentially what your phone is in or what the kid's phone is in and what they can access in that mode. So for example, if we click on get ready mode, you'll actually be taken to the mode that you're currently editing time-wise. And you'll be able to hit this little pencil button right here, and then we can edit get ready mode. So we can make the mode what we want it to be. So you can shape whole days yourself, or you can just use our preset days. So get ready mode, as you can see here, it has access to the utility apps, the music and audio apps, and it has a routine, and it's limited to emergency contacts only. So if we wanted to change get ready mode, and let's say in the morning, we didn't really worry if they had emergency contacts only, we could click that and disable it. And then you can, we didn't explain too much into groups, but on the contacts page, you can add people into groups like family, friends, church mates, stuff like that. And then you can limit those contacts as well. So if you don't want them to be necessarily only texting, everybody, but if you want to be able to text, people they go to church with on Sunday mornings, for example, that would work too. You can also edit the apps and add any more of those sections. So let's say it's the morning we wanted to add finance, because our kids love to do finance in the morning. You can do that, simple as that. And then even for the routines, as we explained earlier, you just set the routines, and look, there's our routine we made earlier, routine, and we're just going to set that, and then you hit save, and it's as simple as that. And the other things we can do, the only other thing on this tab is if you find a mode you don't like, so let's say school mode, our kid doesn't go to school, you hit this X right here, and then it says delete, and boom, delete, and then boom, and that's what a mode is.
Awesome. So this is how you run your Pinwheel phone. This is every single tab that's on the phone, and it's super basic and super easy to run. You as a parent, after watching this video, you can set up your Pinwheel phone and have it ready to go in 10 to 20 minutes. What's really great about the Pinwheel phone is it allows you to super customize everything that you want it to do. Thank you guys for coming to the Pinwheel onboarding seminar where we taught you guys how to use the phone and how to use the Caregiver Portal.
Yep. Have a good one, y'all.